I'm Greg, and we've been doing some things in our house to help with climate change and to help with our environmental impact. And they weren't very hard to do. And so I want to introduce you to some of those so that maybe you can do them in your house, and maybe your house can have a smaller greenhouse gas impact. So the first thing here is in the shower. We put in a water saving head on the shower. And so not only does that prevent us from using too much water, but when you think about hot water and how much you have to heat and pay for that heat and burn fossil fuels perhaps to heat that, we've reduced that. So that's had an impact every day because of course we like to shower. Another thing we did is we had to get new windows. The old windows, they couldn't see through them, and there was air leaking. And here's the thing, when the guys are installing your windows, stand there and make them seal around the windows. Oftentimes they'll just put some kind of cover on top, some sort of board around it, but then there's air leaking underneath. So make them seal that, that's important. One of the things that I'm doing, which is an environmental choice, is I'm not shaving. And so I've not been shaving for 20 years or something, so it's quite a long running thing, but for all those years, I'm not using shaving cream. I'm not throwing out cans of shaving cream. I'm not wasting soap on that. I'm not using blades or razors. Of course, I trim my beard and whatnot, but a lot less environmental impact. Something else we did down here is when we replaced the toilet, we had to put in an insulated tank. An insulated tank, the tank's full of cold water. And so the cold water would suck the heat right out of the house, cool the tank down, you get condensation. And so we don't have that here because it's an insulated tank, and so it's not pulling that heat out of the house as rapidly just to be flushed down the drain. Another thing here, speaking of flushing, is we have a dual flush here. So you can flush a little bit just to get rid of liquids or for solids. And so that can be a savings. On the topic of water conservation again, we put an aerator in here. So we get all the water we need, but this tap is not wasting excess water. And of course for hot water, same thing applies. Up here, we put in energy efficient bulbs. This might be the easiest possible upgrade that you could do. Just making sure that we're getting actually more light than we had in the past, but paying less money for it, burning less energy for that. Here is, we have zone heating in the house, so it's electric heating, you might have noticed that. So we put in a programmable thermostat, paid for itself in 1 year. And so at night, when nobody's using the room, it automatically drops the temperature down. So we don't have that temperature differential leaking out through the walls and whatnot. And then in the morning, we warm it up so everybody can have their showers and be nice and warm. And when everyone goes off to work, down again. And so we have a comfortable house, but we're not wasting energy. Also, we have a dehumidistat here. So this is a fan that turns on automatically based on the humidity. And so we found that the fan does not get left on now because when the air gets dry enough, it turns off. But it makes sure proper ventilation for the house so we don't have moisture getting in the walls and doing that kind of thing. So those are some of the things we've done for the climate that have conserved energy, conserved water, and ultimately reduced greenhouse gas emissions. So I wanted to share those with you because they're fairly easy to do. And they're steps that you can definitely take in your own house to improve things for the environment. I hope that's helpful to you. I'd love to hear more about it in the comments below. Thanks for your help. Bye.